Hi there, clever home buyers, and I'm about to take you through the workbook on negotiating. And a lot of people, their palms start to sweat when they think of negotiating, like it's something that it you're either born with the skill or you need to find someone who's really um, skilled at being in control of situations. No, I'm here to tell you it's not like that. Okay. So stay with me whilst we have a look inside this workbook and talk about it. So here we are. And I just want to, the first thing that I'd like to convey is that you don't need to be a person who's a general manager or um, a lawyer or somebody who's always in control of situations and who commands a lot of respect to be great at negotiating. In my opinion, negotiations are all about building rapport, creating a relationship, understanding the situation in a deep way, and being able to communicate and listen carefully so that you can get a really good appreciation of the situation and respond accordingly. And, at the end of the day, nobody wants to be involved in a negotiation where someone feels like they got ripped off. And that's what we want to avoid, I believe. My approach on negotiations. And so this module contains information about how you negotiate. And after you place an offer and the seller's interested in your offer, and the sales agent calls you and says, let's talk about your offer, that's not the beginning of negotiations. Negotiations started a minute you met that sales agent when you walked through the door of that open home. That's when negotiations started. That's when you started deciding how much information you'll communicate to the sales agent and what type of relationship you'll create with the sales agent. So, as I said, start preparing to negotiate from day one. And over the next few pages, let's talk about that. So, how do you negotiate? So, like I explained, I think it's a frame of mind. Having the confidence because you've learned as much as possible about the home that you're interested in buying, and then having the relationship with the sales agent. After you place your offer, there are three things that can happen. It can be accepted. Wow, congratulations, the seller likes your offer. And the contract is signed. Or it can be rejected. And unfortunately, that happens a lot. Finally, the sales agent could call you and say, seller's interested in your offer. We just need to talk about a few things. Right. And that's a counter offer situation. And so this module is all about teaching you how to react in that situation. So we've got lots of tips that we share with you, and we mostly spend a lot of time talking about the communications on the point. Um, as we move through these, we have some tactics which are, I believe, more of an advanced skill. It's not something that will come naturally to you if this is your first time talking to an agent after you've placed your offer. However, read this before you call them on the phone and get yourself into that right frame of mind. The most important thing, I think, is taking your time. If the sales agent comes back to you and says, look, we think we can make this work if you've got an extra $35,000. Don't go, fine, yep, sold. Okay. Um, think about that. And a really good tactic to use is saying, okay, thanks for letting me know that. I'm going to need to talk with, if you're on your own, say to them, I'm going to need to talk with my parents about this. I want to be able to talk with a friend of mine about this situation. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I encourage you to refer to a higher authority. That's what I call it. Um, as a buyer's agent, we do it all the time. We say, thank you. I will need to seek further instructions from my client all the time. Keep everything calm and always maintain your composure. Don't sound too excited. Don't sound stressed. Don't sound angry. Just keep everything even, right? And there are some tips there that we can go through and the types of questions to ask. And then there's the pitfalls of negotiation that we'll talk about. Responding to counteroffers. So when the sales agent calls you, we've got some really fabulous responses. Obviously, it's kind of like a role play, really, that you can do. So, for example, let's look at one. The other buyer is ready. So the agent, this is the second one on the first page. The agent calls you and says, we have another buyer who's very interested and ready to sign a contract. The seller is seriously considering their offer. Okay. You would be like, I want that house. Like I said, calm, refer to a higher authority, say, thank you for that. Can I get back to you? And they'll probably say something like, well, you'll need to get back to me in the next hour. I can't really wait any longer. You need to get back to me immediately. Fine. And then you just need to keep things, if you're not confident in this situation, we want you to have confidence. So say to them, thank you. I will call you back. I understand the urgency. I will call you back. And then we've given responses for situations like that in this document. So there's a few. So we've reached the end of this workbook's overview. I hope that you're having as much fun as I am, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.